extra credit presentation is on retroreflectors, and this is group number 10. And a retroreflector is an optical device that returns an oncoming beam of light back to its original source. So we see retroreflectors in many examples in everyday life. Most of the time we don't really pay much attention or appreciate them. I'll talk a little bit about the examples that we see every day a little bit later. But first, some natural retroreflectors are actually seen in animals such as cat eyes. So there are actually 2 stray cats near where I live that usually sit in the grass whenever I walk back from my car back home after studying optics all day, and I can actually see their eyes flashing in the dark before I can actually make out their bodies. So it's pretty cool to see at night, and in these pictures I think you can kind of make out on the left there's Tyndall with all the kittens that she lives with, and she's actually trying to give some away if anyone's interested. But the main point of this slide is that on the right you can see the cat sitting in the grass, and you can definitely see the eyes, and they're especially prominent in the dark. And a guy named David Shaw got the idea of seeing these cat eyes in the dark to create a way to light up the sides of the road for easier driving in the dark, because he realized the back of the lenses of the cat eyes are actually retroreflectors. So this has actually led to some of the examples that we see every day. So some of these examples are traffic signs, painted stripes that separate lines of traffic. So you can see in this picture here, a handicap sign during the day looks pretty easy to read, but without retroreflective paint, it would be pretty hard to read. So the use of the retroreflective paint is really helping Hunter in this picture figure out what it says so he doesn't park in the handicap parking and get a ticket. A more modern day example is that retroreflectors are painted on clothing now, and this optical phenomenon is painted onto the fabric for example, runners or bikers that are used to signal to cars at night that they're running in front of them, rather than carrying a flashlight, which is a little bit more cumbersome. So that's me on the right, looking really athletic. So the question is, how do these retroreflectors work? A retroreflector can be made from 3 mirrors arranged to form the corner of a cube, as you can see in the picture right here. So you see you have the bottom, and then there's 2 sides of the mirror forming a cube, and they're all perpendicular to each other. So the cool thing is that if you hold a flashlight near your eye and shine it onto this cube, no matter where you go in the room, it will shine right back, the light will shine right back on you. And this is a general principle of a retroreflector. They have also made retroreflective glass beads that are more feasible on clothes so that they can be painted on more smoothly. And here's a slide on the simple optics of the retroreflector. So in general, as we learned in class about mirrors, the light, so in the picture on the left, the light will hit a flat mirror and create a reflected ray at the same angle that it came in. So in a flat mirror, the only way the light will bounce back directly to you is if you shine the light close to your face at exactly 90 degrees to the mirror surface. This is a problem when you're running and there's a car in front of you, because the light from the headlights of the car are coming at all sorts of angles. So the 3 mirror cube that we saw in the previous slide forming the retroreflector reflects light directly back at the person driving the car, as shown in the diagram. So if we were looking at the previous slide, the 2 angles of reflection of the 2 mirrors that are standing up, they end up adding up to 180 degrees after reflecting off of each other. So the total angle of reflection is always 180 degrees. So you can shine any angle of light into the retroreflector and it'll come back out at 180 degrees. And finally, the bottommost mirror allows the light to follow us wherever we are. So as we said before, if you hold a flashlight near your eye and shine it onto the 3-walled mirror cube, no matter where you go in the room, it will shine right back at you. So I think it's pretty cool how a simple optical phenomena can be used on your shirt that you can be wearing, and it can be used for safety measures such as running at night. Anyways, this is the end of our video, and I hope you have a happy Thanksgiving.